Field. It's a pleasure to have with us on cruising this beautiful Monday morning. Ejiro or AJ, EJ, if you like, and that's EJ sitting quite comfortable over there. Hi, Ejiro. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I can see that your smile is so bright. Interesting. All right, you don't live in Nigeria.
No, I don't.
All right, and you're here on a Monday. Was it a bit challenging for you? You're used to the stress, the hustle, the bustle of Mondays, but for someone like you, how was it like getting
It
here?
was actually not so bad. It wasn't so bad. I came here with my family members, so I just took a cab. It wasn't as bad.
Okay, but then you had to wake up a bit earlier than usual?
Yes,
Okay.
a lot earlier than usual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, you're the first person I've met who studied respiratory therapy. I didn't even know there was a course like that. If you study just that, you know, as against you studying maybe an aspect of medicine or something, you know. What is that really talking about?
That is more lung patients with lung problems. So I work with patients right now who have lung problems. I work alongside doctors. Doctors treat patients with critically ill, so I work alongside them.
Like asthma?
Asthma,
Okay.
bronchitis, people that come here like cardiac problems.
Okay.
Just treat mostly that. What's up for the lungs? Everything has to be breathing. Just treat that.
Wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So you must be very familiar with the respiratory tract, you know, in the human body.
I have to be. Yes.
Okay, all right. And now you're studying psychology again. All right. So what's with all the degrees and all of that?
Yeah, respiratory therapy was something I did right when I graduated from high school. I went to respiratory therapy, and it was fun working there and working in the hospital. Get a chance to see different departments. I worked in psych unit also, so I got interested more in the psych unit, and I worked my bachelor's. So my associate's degree, my first degree was in respiratory therapy. So I just kind of worked and continued psychology to get to more one-on-one.
All right. Now, saying as which, you discovered your love and passion for music at a very tender age of 7. You know, one would have expected you to pursue that, you know, a bit more intensely. You know, maybe even going into a higher institution and
Music.
yes, or something like that.
Yeah.
So why didn't you do that?
Those are my parents.
It's always the parents, you know. Always them.
Yes, I wanted to go straight to music and do strictly music, and they were like, no, you're not doing that. You have to go into something educational first, get a job,
Yeah.
get settled
Bring home a
financially.
certificate that is worth my money.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I know how
work,
that feels.
and actually be comfortable and able to finance yourself. And after I got my job, I could work, and then I said, I can do music as long as you continue schooling. Like the criteria, continue schooling, then do music.
Do music, okay.
Yeah, so I had to do that first and get that going to a good extent, and then I can now do what I really love to do.
Okay, but you're still in school.
I'm still in school.
All right. So how do you juggle both worlds?
Yeah, what I do is I work at night. Most of my jobs are I work throughout the night and I go to school during the day, and on weekends I do music. So it's work daytime, work mostly school all day, and then I work at night.
Okay.
That's
All
how I
right.
juggle it.
Well, does that work for you? Isn't it stressful?
It is, but what comforts me is that I love it. So I feel like for me, I have to sacrifice certain things for what I love to do. I love to do music and I love my job, so I also want to continue for the medication. I don't want to get comfortable with the fact that I work right now, so I'm gonna have to pick something. And so I go to school throughout the day, and I kind of balance my hours whereby I have a few hours of rest, whereby I go to school, rest for a few hours, go to work, and on weekends I can just do what I love, which is just music with my church and then administrations.
Okay. All right. Now you've been in like a love relationship with church.
Yeah.
You know, from a very small age and all of that. So that sort of like forms a huge part of your orientation and all of that. So would it be safe to describe you as a church girl?
A lot of people do right now. They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you are a church girl.
To some extent, to a large extent, yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So is this reflective in your music? I know you do gospel, but a lot of people, even though they do gospel music, try to make you understand it's not too churchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that people on the street as well can key into their kind of music. Is that how you do your gospel music, or do you just leave it at is the gospel is pure gospel and it's church? How do you portray your kind of gospel music?
I would say it's strictly strictly gospel, but I feel like a lot of people on the street can still relate because my main focus in the way of getting out to reach out to the young adults. It's churchy in the way that you can understand the gospel in a very easy way. It's not blocking the way people on the street. It's explaining who God is. Like my cover right now, my single just is about the goodness of God, and it was just me saying thank you to God. And I think people can relate to that. So it's strictly gospel in every way. But it's a way that's very relatable. Anybody can understand. The next song, one is called Make Me Wonder, talks about how God makes me wonder. You know, different things that God does. I think something people can relate to. Even in hardship, God makes me wonder. The lyrics kind of just talks about God is good, God is great. And I think it's relatable, strictly gospel. Strictly gospel, yes.
Now you're more in, well, New York than anywhere else, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so how acceptable is your kind of music where you live?
It's very acceptable to a good extent. I was really surprised how a lot of the young ones were so like just grabbed the song and were like, wow, I so much love it. It's very acceptable so far where I am right now, and I'm very happy about that. Because that was my prayer when I started working in it. I really want people to not feel like, wow, she's just throwing gospel at us and nothing more. But so far, it's been a great reception. I'm really thankful for that.
Okay. Now I want to understand how you like throw your music out there for the people and how you make yourself more relevant in your chosen field, because here at least I know how it works. You know, as a gospel artist, you go to a lot of concerts and and stuff like that. How does it work over there? Do you rely just on album sales? How many units, or you perform in churches? Or I want to know how it works over there.
I think it's kind of similar to here. We go to events, several Christian rhythm events, Christian
There's a lot of that there.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Okay.
We go to different events and like an artistic like I think the size of the event, those CD of the events. A lot of sales too. We do have to do the sales also, but mostly events. We do as much events. Most of my weekends I mostly spend going on events.
Okay.
If I'm not going to school or work, just events. That's mostly what we do.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about Record Bureau. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about Record Bureau.
Yeah.
That's thank God.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, how did you get inspiration to write Record Bureau?
Record Bureau. I worked on that song with my producer Gary David. We were just thinking about a song, and it sounded like I want to do Thanksgiving song, something about Thanksgiving, and I want it very personal. So the lyrics in the song just about Almighty God, my Redeemer, thank you for what you've done. Kind of like me just reflecting on my life, and that just came out. And I also am from Delta State. Record Bureau is a word that means thank you.
Yeah.
Organ and Record Bureau is God, thank you. Also Record Bureau is thank you. I want to actually just go back to my heritage. Even though I'm in New York, it was like, you're going to bring out a song, Record Bureau in New York. I'm like, I would love to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of channel back to my heritage. I mean, actually advised me, cool to do that. I'm like, cool. That's actually how this thing just came about. Just me reflecting on my lifestyle and how God has been so good. And I just wanted to just pour that out in the first single.
Wow. That's nice. All right, let's go and check out Record Bureau. And that song is saying thank you. All right, and of course, November is the month of Thanksgiving. The first one is Great God.
Great God, yes.
What are you talking about?
Great God talks about the names of God. It just kind of me just calling out God. It's a declaration song, actually.
Okay.
That song started with me in my bedroom, just playing my guitar, and I was working on the song. And I just wrote a song for my producer. I listened to the song, what do you think? And he loved it. And then he just wanted to just call out God's name. So when you listen to the song, you hear Great God, Awesome God, Mighty God, Faithful One, Holy God. It starts in I will sing, I will shout. Most of the songs there, I believe that just praises to God in different ways. So that's how Great God came out.
Of course, we've seen Record Bureau already.
Yeah.
Make Me Wonder.
Make Me Wonder, my favorite song. That's
Really?
actually more traditional than Recovery Road.
Oh, really?
It Make Me Wonder is a full song. It's talk about you're the lifter of my, you lift up my head, oh Lord.
Do me the song.
No.
Do me the song. Really, seriously.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
You're the lifter of my head, oh Lord. No matter what I face, your love never runs. Oh, you lift me up, you give me joy, you give me hope. What's an I to Lord if it not be for you? So I praise your name. Baba, you make me wonder, 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 wonder. So really just praising God. You can make me wonder. Oloria, yeah, Georgia. Can I just call that?
I see you speak Yoruba too.
No, I understand Yoruba.
Okay.
I know a few words. I don't.
No, you cheat very well. You just speak, and make people feel like you can do the whole thing. It's okay. All right, now you have Clap Your Hands.
Yeah, that's more rap. Yeah,
Really?
Rap is more hip hop song.
Okay.
Yes.
So who did the rap on it?
A friend of mine, Bro Chosen, he's
Okay.
based in Texas. Yeah, we're good friends. So I told him I would love to do this song. It's one of my favorite friends. I love him so much. He's also does rap and he's a wonderful worshiper and he does strictly gospel rap and I would love to do a song with him. So we had a song and we called him up and he was so excited to do it with me.
Nice. Okay, and also we have God Alone, I Need You,
Yes.
You Are, and
Yes.
Be Still.
Yes.
Wow. All right, so that's unveiled. So, this album has been in the music markets in the US, I take it. All right, for how long?
Since March.
Since March.
Since March.
Okay, so what has reception been like?
The reception has actually been really great so far, beyond my expectation. Actually, when I made it, I was just praying. I'm like, God, I give it over to you. Do what you can with it. And the reception has been really, really great. Just been blown away by it. And for me, I just feel like all I can just say is thank you because it's more than I expected.
Okay. All right, does that make you want to do another album?
It does.
Okay.
At the right time. I'm like, God, whatever you say. So I want to do another one, but I don't want to rush into it.
Okay.
So I feel it's the right time to do it. I want to do it when it's best to do it. Yeah, not just do it for the sake of doing it.
All right, now you're currently on the tour of the US and Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your tour and how far you've progressed so far and what actually you're looking at achieving.
Yeah, so far I've only been mostly in the States. I've done different states in Europe, New York, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and I came for the first time, my first time back since I left here, so I'm really
Wow,
excited.
since you left here when?
2003.
Okay, since 2003.
Yes.
That's 10 years ago.
Yes, I
This is your first time back home.
first time back home.
Wow, you should be flogged. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so did you recognize any particular area in Lagos?
Actually, no.
No.
Yeah, because I've
Okay.
not been back to where I lived. I'm in Lagos around here. I lived in Ogun State, Ota.
Oh, okay.
So I've not been
All
back
right.
there yet.
I was actually going to say Oshodi, maybe you'd never recognize Oshodi.
No.
Everywhere's
It's
changed.
changed.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, hoping if I get to Ota, I'm actually say, I know that place, I know that, but so far,
Nowhere. Everywhere looks different.
everyone looks very different. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is your first time back home in 10 years. All right, so where do you plan to go? What do you plan to do while you're in Nigeria?
I'm actually going to be going to a few churches, particularly the event I'm going for this coming Saturday, Rima World Convention.
Okay.
Pastor Bishop Akinola, and if they're going to some church, and so I'm going to be trying my best to just spread that out also. I'm really blessed to be invited for that event, and I'm hoping to get more events while I'm here, and hopefully to come back again. It's my first time back. I would love to come back again sometime soon.
All right, but then
Yeah.
I'd love to ask, if you don't
Yeah.
mind, how long you're here for?
I'm here for a few days. I'll be
Few
out
days.
here.
Wow. I was hoping to hear and get till Christmas.
Oh no!
That way.
I wish.
So how are you going to tour the whole of Nigeria, say in few days?
Not the whole of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish it would be the whole of Nigeria, but not the whole of Nigeria. No, that's why I would love to come back again. I would definitely plan to come back again sometime soon.
All right.
See what I'm
But
doing.
in your short time back, have you met other artists who choose your kind of music? You haven't met anybody? Wow, okay. Now, this is on national television. This is EJ. Her name is Ejiro, alright? She's a Nigerian, a prodigal. A prodigal Nigerian, but she's back home, alright? And I know that all the gospel artists out there will call you after this thing. Trust me. Trust me. They will call you. Please, I need you guys to just overwhelm her, and just make her feel she's missing a lot by not being here. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about other works you've got in the pipeline. What else are you working on at the moment?
I'm actually just working on shooting the next video, Make Me Wonder, and it's going to be a lot different from Cookie Road, which is more peaceful and more calm. It's a more fun song. I just started working on that with a few friends of mine, to see how that comes out, about that. And I've been working on a few songs, more songs with my producer, but nothing concrete yet. So far.
But then you know what? My opinion, I think it would be a crime for you to come to Nigeria and not do something, with your time here, with a Nigerian artist. Like seriously, it's going to be a plus for you. Yeah, please work on it. Think about it like really fast. Just do something with a Nigerian artist, and I'm sure at the end of the day you will love it.